Hi, everybody. It's Amanda here. Welcome to another edition of the Slumber Party podcast. I'm here today with co-host Liza Ramnarine. I'm not creative enough to come up with like a funny name for you every time, like best friend, or you know how like Dax Shepard and Monica Padman, like Dax will always be like, this is, and he comes up with like a different name. I'm not that. So it'll just be who you are. Don't put me on the spot, okay?
I think
I
you
am Liza.
guys could be Pinky in the Brain. You were just saying that she's like the other part of your brain.
We could. Do you know what Pinky in the Brain is, Liza?
No. It was
Okay.
was it before 1997?
So Liza is actually from Kazakhstan
Yes.
and immigrated to Canada when she was 14. And so there's like
13.
13, sorry. And there are lots of like Canadian or US pop culture references that she just doesn't know. Before we jump in, welcome to Lexie, Baby's Best Sleep Consultant. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fantastic this evening. How are you?
Great. Thank you for making time. So Lexie is all the way over in the Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia, living her best life. How's it going over there?
It's a little bit crazy right now. Today was a little
Yeah.
bit bananas. But I think that that's just the general consensus everywhere. Life is just a little crazy right now.
Yeah, and when you're listening to this, listeners, this is being recorded the beginning of January 2022, and certain parts of Canada have shut down everything because of stupid things called, like pandemics,
Schmovid.
whatever. Yeah, I can't even, like, I think my brain is so talked out about it. But we're all living, but you know what? Actually, it's funny that you should mention school closures because this will live on your feed forever. Lexie has actually, so Lexie wrote me on Instagram. And I don't know, I had said something about school closures and how we're all surviving. And Lexie's like, the only reason why I'm surviving is I made my house a circus. And I was like, what? What does that mean? Like, do you mean circus? And she's like, oh, I actually mean circus. And then she
1000%.
actually made her house into a circus. And it's incredible. How did you do that?
I got tired of saying no. Please don't climb that. So I begged my husband to find something that the child could climb. I mean, she still climbs the walls, but at least she has an option to climb. So yeah, no, it's a play structure. It's basically a floor-to-ceiling jungle gym with a trapeze and a rope and rings and a ladder.
It's incredible. Depending on when you're listening to this, head over to BBS_LEXIE and check it out because she's taking pictures of her home. It's honestly, there's ropes, there's like it's
slides and balance boards. Yeah. Basically any way that a child needs to move to self-regulate. Out of desperation and pure madness, I have decided that my whole house needed to look like that. I keep reminding myself it's just a season, right?
It is a season. It is a season. And this is why I send our older clients to you most often because Lexie's actually run her in-home caregiving spot for a number of years, is a wonderful early childhood educator, experienced educator. She's just so knowledgeable on this age and stage. And to top it off, you have 3 kids as well, just like Liza. 3-kid club.
3-kid club.
All the crazy moms, where you at? Woo woo.
Yeah. We're right here. Drowning.
I only surround myself with crazy. So
and people what is normal anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like admiring my hair. Like I can't get
I was going to ask you if you got it done, but then I was like, well, no, you probably aren't allowed to do that right now. So
no. So for
Lexie.
Christmas. Be
I mean, do you see this? Dry shampoo. Lots of dry shampoo.
Listen, I didn't mean to do this. This is what happened. So I took a shower.
Just comes on and shows up all of us. She's like, look at me, I'm so beautiful. I run this show.
I run this. It's mine. No. That's not what happened. So I got a Dyson hair wrap for Christmas. This is my big Christmas gift. I've wanted it for a long time. And this is a long story that no one gives a shit about. So sorry, everybody. But I went blonde actually, the day I went blonde was the day that the Raptors won the championship. So that's how I know it was the right decision. And you're welcome, the Raptors, for my transformation. I think it brought around, it was a universal moment for us all. Anyway, so Raptors win the championship. I'm a blonde, but when you're blonde, it's like a whole different ball game with how to like deal with your hair. And so you actually have to do it. So I want this like Dyson hair wrap because when I straighten my hair, like if you use too much heat, you start to actually see it on blonde hair. I think more so than dark hair. So anyway, I was like, I want to use it. I think it's healthier for my hair. I get it. Mostly just for straightening. But there are all these like wands. And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to figure this out. Literally, if you saw me with it today, you'd be like, like it was such a shit show. And I think something in my brain clicked. Like 3 minutes before this, I was like, I think I know how to use it. I'm not kidding. I was like, I think I get it. You can timestamp my stories. I was like, I think I got it. And then I got it. It was wrapping. And then I was like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. And then here I am. This is 3 minutes.
Like the biggest wins and the biggest mistakes are made in the last 3 minutes of you needing to be somewhere.
Also,
you specifically.
Anywhere. Yeah.
And I didn't, like, Dyson is not sponsoring this, obviously. We gave them all the money, but, like, you should maybe think about it because it's so amazing. This is not who I am.
That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh, look at you. Your hair is so fancy.
I can't believe it, actually. This might be who I become. If it's that easy, why not?
First she's a morning person. Then she starts pre-making salads.
Who are you?
And then she is this girl with the most beautiful flow you have ever seen.
I know you for bad hair. Bring that back. Unless you're not in a pandemic. I mean, come on. When other professionals can get their hands on your hair, it looks great.
Listen, I don't know what's happened to me, but I think the pandemic has made me like sick of wallowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
if you're going to be stuck with yourself, you might as well look your best. I mean, if you're going to look hot for somebody, it might as well be yourself.
But like, just so you know,
manicures and your own hair. I mean, what is happening? Bring the world back to normal, please.
But Liza can attest to the fact that like this is an accident. Like this for sure did not. This is an accident.
I love that we're spending so much time on this when we all know what's happening.
People are like,
we have been watching you on Instagram for years.
I know exactly. It's like not everyone's like we saw. You don't have to
you're
say
real,
anymore.
Girl. You're truly relatable.
Yeah. We saw you. We actually have a grid of about 4 years of it looking the way it looked. And
then when you see professionals, for your TV appearances, then it's like...
Well, now I'm like,
the glow up is
show
real.
up. Yeah, no kidding. Anyway,
all right.
Lexie,
people did not...
This is no beauty podcast, you guys.
Well, I'm laughing because people are like, you know what? I'm going to pop this episode on because I want to learn more about Lexie. And they're like, fuck, it's 9 minutes in and she's only talked about her fucking hair. Who cares? Okay.
All the people with ADHD are like fast forwarding everything very quickly and be like, when does Amanda stop talking about her hair?
No one cares. No one cares. Amazing. So actually, we've been kind of internet friends for a little bit of time. I was really excited to see you apply in this round. And then your interview was so outstanding and incredible. It was like such an easy decision to have you on the team. But I would love for you to share with everybody why you wanted to become a sleep consultant.
So I believe I started following you actually when Cooper, the one who climbs the walls, was just a baby, and you had just started doing sleep consulting, and Cooper still doesn't really sleep, so she's a bad example. But um, it was only because of Baby's Best Sleep and everything that you talked about that I was actually able to get any semblance of normalcy. And so I was like, I will never not follow Amanda Jewson because she is like the god. So I guess I've been here for a while and just like watched what you made possible for so many other people. And so like in my day home world, I really created a community of other people. So, we do special events together, and I really meet parents where they are, and I only take shift workers and all of those sort of things. And actually, this September, my youngest, Kenzie, will go to pre primary, so pre K basically. And I was like, I need to do something else, but I don't know if I want to keep on taking everyone's babies and raising them when I don't have babies of my own anymore. But then I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Because I've made my whole life, like the last 5 years, about like raising mothers higher. And then I opened my email and Baby's Best Sleep was looking for sleep consultants. And I was like, I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for it.
I guess that's it.
Yeah. And then the universe was like, hey, how about this? And I was like, how about that? That is the perfect fit. I am on the other side of the thick of it. I have been in the thick of it. So I can totally relate to moms who are like, are you sure I'm not messing everything up here? I can attest to the fact that there is another side of the pea soup thick fog that you feel like you're in, especially when your child is not sleeping.
Yeah.
So just giving back a little bit of what I didn't necessarily have when I had my 3 kids, and supporting moms to, you are totally badass, and we're going to make sure that you know it. And sleep is the foundation of all of things that are magical.
Well, I just I love that. Thank you for
love
those
that, Lexie.
compliments. But I feel like the other thing that you're not mentioning is like, was it just last year you ran for a city councilor position and
Yeah,
won
so
it
it
and beat the
was
incumbent? No big deal.
Oh, just that.
so I didn't beat the incumbent, but I actually beat a man. Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, you did.
No shade on men, but the incumbent decided not to put her name forward for the area that I live in, and I was like, oh gosh, who's gonna like do something? And that was kind of one of those things that I was like, when all my kids are in school and all my life is sorted out and I'm sleeping again and life is magical, maybe I'll go into like local government, because that would be something that I could help people and really like kind of be that I've always been told that I'm a bit of a spitfire, so it's like perfect. Local politics is the place to be. It's the kind of the boots on the ground government. So I put my name in because nobody else had, and at the same time, 2 other gentlemen had put their name in at the same time. So there was 3 of us, and one of them actually was born and raised, lived his whole life in the area that I actually represent right now. And so he didn't put a whole lot of work in. He is a phenomenal businessman, and he is a phenomenal developer, and very well known. And we in Nova Scotia, and especially the area that I represent, is a bit of an older population. So a lot of his parents and their friends, and his grandparents and their friends. So actually, in the beginning, when I saw that he was running, I was like, I think that I'll just, support somebody who knows what they're doing a little bit more, somebody who has the financial backing to kind of win this race. Maybe I don't have the experience. Maybe now's not the right time. And one of my girlfriends was like, sure, maybe now's not the right time. She's like, but that doesn't mean that you don't sit at the table until the meal's done. And so I was like, just hang on a second. I'm going to sit back down. So I sat back down and I just was like, you know what? I have 3 girls who are watching me. Maybe I lose, but I'm not going to lose without trying. And we did digital, like virtual polls first, because we were in the thick of the pandemic at that point. And I won like a landslide in those polls. And I was like, but we still have in-person voting, and that's how those like older generations of the people that will be supporting him primarily in his like hometown, his home community, will be voting. And I was like, so I'm not going to celebrate yet. And it was probably a good month after I won that I was like, oh my gosh, is this real life? And my husband for a while was like, you don't really seem that excited. I'm like, I don't even think this is real. It's all fake. Like, this isn't real. And it took a long time for it to settle in that, yeah, I actually I'm just going to go for it. Maybe I'll win, maybe I'll lose, but at least I'm going to try. And I actually won. So even still today, when I sit down in council chambers or I work in some of the committees that I work with, that are making some outstanding changes in our area, I have a lot of moments where I'm like, is this real life? Like, am I actually sitting with the grown-ups making grown-up decisions?
That's so amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
When you talk about it being real life, I was like, that's how I felt with my second child. And until she showed up, I was like, oh my God, there's a second baby. I'm going to have a second child.
Yep.
She's very real. Are you enjoying it still? Are you happy doing that role?
It's still fairly it's super flexible. We have 2 meetings a month, and then I sit on 9 committees as well. So we have meetings quarterly and monthly and all over the place. It's very rewarding work. I sit as the chair of our diversity committee, and we're in the middle of unveiling a huge strategy for belonging in the County of Kings. So that's a huge project that has been going on over the last year and now has been implemented at the county level. And I sit on our joint accessibility committee and a few other committees similarly to that. So those are some things that I'm very passionate about: diversity and equity and accessibility and inclusion for all. So to be able to sit on those committees at the governing level is pretty exciting for me.
That's awesome. Wow. It makes me feel so small. Exactly. It's like, I'm in this office all day. I'm making TikTok.
I had 3 kids, ran a home business, built a circus, and now I run the government.
And they honestly, what an example of I just think, I don't know, sometimes
to a mother.
Well, someone I know in my community, my friend's cousin said, no, I actually think women are the more superior race. And I'm just like, haha. And then I hear this conversation. I'm like, yeah.
One of the constituents that I represent, actually, when I was running my election, he said to me, you're the only female running, and you'll be the one to get my vote, because if you need something done, you give it to a busy person, and I can't think of someone busier or more motivated than a mother.
Don't ask me to do anything when
all 3 of my girls were with me basically my whole campaign, so they were in the minivan watching movies. And there's sometimes where constituents will reach out to me to kind of problem solve. They're like, oh, you sound really busy, I'll call you at another time. I'm like, I don't know if we got 18 years.
There's no better time.
100%. 100%. It's like, I also think we're getting past that in society as well. Thankfully, I think that'll be one of the bonuses of the pandemic, that we can stop pretending that we don't have children.
Yeah.
Sorry, we all have children. The jig is up, guys. They make sounds, they talk, and they live at our house.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I watched, I think it was 60 Minutes or something last night. I was watching mindless TV until I had to go to bed. And they were actually talking about the big resignation of women across America, and how although they are noticing that more women are returning to the workforce, there's still millions of women missing. And primarily the ones that are missing are mothers, because they've chosen that they don't need to sit in that office anymore. They can work from home and find a way that works better for them. And employers aren't able to aren't able to act like children don't exist anymore. They are a very real part of a mother's life. And if you want women at the table with those skills and the force that you need to drive your company forward, you're going to have to acknowledge the children in the room too.
Amen.
Thank you, Lexie. That's amazing. Like, I needed that today.
Honestly, though. But I think that's, it's such a big problem because I think so many, it's like women can do what men do as long as they do it exactly like men. And men have only been able to do things because they've had women taking care of the kids.
Yep.
So it's impossible. Like, our standard is just incredibly stupid and high to be like, and to be fair, I can't really complain. Like, I worked in teaching, which is a really like flexible job, mostly run by women. Like, my bosses were women and wonderful and understanding, but it also, like, there's a lack of flexibility in teaching as well. Like, you come on these days and this is what you do and these are your hours. And by the way, they're going to be like, when your kids are in school and when they have to like be dropped off at school and picked up and yada, yada, yada. And I think like what's not really talked about and what was a huge stressor for me when I went back to work was like drop off and pick up was like, nobody talks about that, but that's really hard. Liza, you were a stay-at-home parent for up until last year, right?
Queen. That's how I made every relationship I have right now, is because I did get, the chance, and my dream like was to stay with my kids and have them younger so I can still have some sort of a semblance of a career after that. But, kids really teach you who you are. And I feel like I am now ready to. But yes, I mean, meeting moms at the playground is a full-time job, and you need moms to unite children. I was the hen that watched all of the babies, there's the moms that are there. They know your kid. They know that your kid belongs to you. We watch your kid. If your kid falls, we'll run over to your kid and help them. You need every kind of mother. You need a Lexie. You need, you need somebody who will bring her kids in the van and make that change.
I attended a professional development conference a few years ago, and the speaker said every wife needs a wife. And so when I said that's true. However, I do believe that every mother needs a mother, because without each other, we really don't soar quite as high as we possibly could. So it takes all kinds of mothers at the playground. We can't all be the one packing the snacks.
Yes, exactly. I'm the girl that packs the snacks, but I also bring a cooler full of drinks for the moms.
Yeah.
And I make sure that everybody is taken care of. Exactly. And then we need the women who can make a change,
And you're totally that mom. I don't know how many times where I've been out and I'm like working, and then I have my kids on the weekend. I'm like, yeah, look at me. I'm super involved mom. Look at me. And then we go out and they're like, we're hungry. I'm like, ah! And Lisa's like, I have 25 snacks. I have 25 snacks for you.
She pulls out her trench coat and she's like, what do you want? I got one of everything.
I never have no children. I only have more children or other people's children.
Yeah. It's true. It's funny though how like you were a stay-at-home mom for so long, and then we had this huge discussion for Liza to join the company, and then all this stuff went down with the pandemic again. And I'm like, Liza, listen, we can make everything work. Like, take your time, whatever. Like, if you need to like take more time, she's like, I have to come. I have to come.
I want to work more, please.
Give me more hours, please. Because I'm done now and I'm coming and that's what's happening. I'm like, okay. She's like, stop saying that. I will come.
I'm like, please stop telling me I don't have to show up places. I am looking for new places to show up to, even if it's online and just upstairs in my own office. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This wasn't the way that I thought that my stay-at-home mothering career would end, but the pandemic had other plans. and you know what? I was just ready. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
What do you guys think it is?
I think we just get to that point.
My kids never leave.
Like.
Do you think it was 2 years at home with children?
with a toddler, 12 and 2 boys.
Yes. And then, I said to a client actually the other day, you serve everyone better when you serve yourself best. Mm-hmm. And after 2 years in a pandemic and serving everybody else best, it's time to put yourself at the table. So sit back down at the table and say, no, this is my space. This is my food, and I am not sharing with anyone. I will serve you better when I serve myself best, and I am going to serve myself. And this is what I need. I need my own identity. I need my own cup to be full, and I need my own space and my own priorities.
Yep, 100%. Well, I think that's a wonderful way to end this episode, because what do you say to that? That's exactly what we're here for. It's exactly what we're preaching. And it's exactly why you're such a great consultant and your clients love you. So
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. Yay.
Well, no, you're doing so great. And if you want to book Lexie, you can head on over to our website, babysbestsleep.com. You could learn a little bit more about Lexie on our About Us page. And then you can also book a call directly with Lexie herself if you do want to work with her or one of our next available consultants. As always, you can find more tips, tricks, and everything else on the blog, on our Instagram. You can find us all on Instagram. I'm at Baby's Best Sleep. Then we have BBS_LIZA for Liza and BBS_LEXIE for Lexie.
And you can find the circus there.
Yes, find the circus. It's incredible. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Sleep well. Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Bye.